Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So, hello dear friends. So, welcome again to NPTEL online course on logistics and supply chain management. So, today we are into the 5th lecture, that is on logistics services providers. So, I am Dr. Vikas Thakur, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Khanpur. So, in this lecture we will try to address the following points. First, we will discuss about the logistics services provider, and then what are the key components of these players, and then why we need those players, right? Why we are going for outsourcing partially or maybe fully, right, our logistics operation to these players. So, depending upon whatever your requirements are, we either you will go for first party logistics services provider or second party or third, fourth, fifth party, right. So, the latest is the 6th party logistics service provider are also available, right, and then we will discuss one small case study on this session. So, logistics service provider is a company or organization that offers a range of logistics solutions, right, and those logistics solutions we already talked about, maybe transportation, maybe warehousing, maybe storage, maybe distribution, management of goods and materials, and maybe the reverse supply chain, right. So, if a particular organization who is operating the business in the market maybe are not good with the distribution, setting up the distribution channel, maybe they are not having those many resources, or maybe they do not have that much expertise in that particular market, right, or they do not have access to that market, right. There are other reasons as well, but basically these are few reasons. Then we need some partner who can do these operations on our company behalf, right, and we want that those operations should be done efficiently and effectively, right. So, because we are maybe not competent enough in that field, so it is better to go for outsourcing. So, just before starting, I just want to give you very generic structure. Already we have discussed about this, that this is our supply chain where we have suppliers first in that, maybe suppliers of suppliers, and then we have manufacturers in between, and then we have a long distribution chain, right, and this chain may include your wholesalers, distributor, retailers, carry forward agents, whatever, right, whatever structure the particular organization is following, and finally we are reaching to the end customer. So, let us keep it very simple, and we will show it here like only 4 stakeholders, right. So, already we discussed about all, there may be so many different layers in that network, right. So, obviously from one point to other point we need your transportation services, in between maybe sometimes we need the storage services, maybe we need the packaging or labeling services as well sometimes, or maybe finally the fulfillment centers or distribution centers may be there, right. And then when we are again processing the returns, then also we need the warehouses where we will keep the returns, maybe we will repair the returns, we will replace the faulty components, or maybe we will again change the packaging, or maybe just customer return that product because customer did not like that product. So, again we will repackage that product and then we will again keep that product on the shelf for the future sales, right. So, this is very simple structure. Okay. So, this structure will keep on mind when we will go through these this whole session, and because I want to highlight these basically special services where if I am not as manufacturer expert in those services, so obviously we will try to look for someone who can do these services for our organization. let's take very small example, and I'm having a very small restaurant within a city. Okay, so right now the structure is customers are visiting my restaurant and then they are taking the meal, maybe breakfast, maybe lunch, maybe dinner, as per their requirements, right? But now I can see that, let's say, imagine this restaurant is nearby IIT Khanpur campus or maybe within campus as well, right? So because IIT Khanpur strength we need to keep somewhere on board, we have 18 to 20,000 people living within that campus, right? So now, because I'm serving to those people, so but the problem here is, now if you observe the latest trend in the restaurant industry, we are hardly getting time to go specially to restaurant, sit there for half an hour, chit chat with the friends, family, and then again 1 hour or maybe 1 hour 30 minutes we are taking the stuff whatever we want to take, right? So that much time we are falling short of. Maybe there are special occasions, we are celebrating those occasions, then we are sparing some time, right? But usually day routine life is like that, we are reaching late at home and then we want delivery at our doorstep, right? So now, because I'm very small restaurant, maybe 15 to 20 people including me are working in that restaurant. So right now only capacity what I can utilize within that restaurant is whosoever is visiting my restaurant. But let's say I'm thinking, let's provide the doorstep delivery, right? So people can come and or maybe use my platform, whatever app, if I have developed some app, so they can use that app and place the order, I'll provide the doorstep delivery, right? So obviously you are looking for further expansion of your business, but then doing those deliveries, let's say we are getting 100 or 120 deliveries per day. So let's say to make those deliveries, now I need 5 bikes and obviously 5 riders who will ride the bike and will deliver the orders, right? And those orders are uncertain when it will come, right? And then accordingly we'll do that. So getting these many resources, these are kind of fixed asset, your investment, right? Getting these many resources, again you need 7 to 8 lakhs, right? So that means this much money is required, and this is very huge amount for a small restaurant. So the very simple way out is, let's collaborate with Swiggy, let's collaborate with Zomato, and then deliver the order at doorstep and using our capacity fully, right? So even now you are looking for outsourcing partner because you want to avoid this fixed cost. So let's say within campus only, maybe we are covering 3 kilometer area or maybe 3 to 5 kilometer area. So still I feel that because whatever kitchen area I'm having, I'm not able to utilize the full capacity and my resources, manpower. So let's expand this delivery process to another 15 to 20 kilometers. So again, if you want to go for that, you need not to think about that, only you need to care about that you need to procure that much raw material. The rest of the distribution thing will be taken care by your delivery partner, which may be Swiggy or Zomato or maybe any other local player, right? If you are not deploying your separate network, right, dedicated network. So these are some of the examples. When we'll discuss this session, we'll use these examples, I'll refer these examples, right? So what are the key components or services offered by your logistics services providers? First is transportation, either that is their headache now, whether which type of transportation mode they will use, road, air or rail, or through ship they will transport your material. That is one kind of services you can get from them. Freight forward, you are moving your stock from one point to other point, you can use these services. Custom brokerage, if you are shipping your product overseas or you are crossing the state boundaries, interstate boundaries, so those many things, customs, duties and all the documentation, these players can take care, right? Then inventory management, if you are outsourcing the process of inventory, I don't want, because I am very small restaurant, I don't want to take care, or I am not expert how I should manage my inventory, how many dinners I need to prepare tomorrow, right? How many lunch plates I need to serve. Let's outsource this function and some agency will forecast, will find out the demand patterns, automatically will arrange the raw material inventory, and then they will fulfill the order as well. That depends upon what type of solution you want, right? So these logistics players will provide you that customized tailored solution to you. And then if you want packaging, they will do the packaging also, labeling, packaging. And separately, if you want to implement any technological solution, maybe you want to track the movement of the goods, you want to track the final delivery, whether it has happened with the final customer, or you want to track the payment cycle, right? So that those kind of softwares also you can just outsource, and those players will prepare the platform for you. Then the next point is customization. These logistics service providers will provide you the customized solution depending upon your requirement, then maybe location, maybe volume, and then if special handling requirements are there, like we talked about, if kind of fragile items you are handling, if you are handling electronic components, then you need to take care in that way. If you are carrying food with you, you have to be conscious about the hygiene of that, right? So those many things you need to consider. So yes, then again the next point is expertise and experience, because these players are specially dedicated. You can see a huge list is there. These all are international players, right, who are doing logistics, transportation, warehouse, all those activities overseas. And when you approach them, obviously you are approaching expert in that way, right? As a restaurant owner, maybe I am very limited in my knowledge how I can route my distribution in a best possible way. Because if I am getting one order, I am just rushing to fulfill that order. Maybe my bike rider will travel 15 kilometers, will deliver that. If I am having that strong platform, integrated technological platform, where if I can combine 2 or 3 or 4 orders, so that means I can somewhere increase the efficiency. I can, because same cost will be there whether I am carrying 1 packet of food or I am carrying 10 packets of food. But that will only happen if you have that idea that within that time you are going to get orders for 10 packets of food, right? So if you have expertise in that, so these players will provide you those kind of solutions. Global reach. So let's say if today we are operating here only, we are operating in India only, and then the next day now you are thinking that let us explore, we have some chances in, means at least in Asian market we can go and we can explore, right? But then again the point comes, then because we are expert in manufacturing something, let's say we are manufacturing home appliances, we are manufacturing refrigerator, right? We are expert in manufacturing that, but we don't have access to the foreign market. How will set up the distribution network? Distribution network is very important thing, strategic decision, as well as carries huge cost, right? So then if there is someone who is already expert in that and they have branches all over the world, right? So then immediately we can approach them and we can have access to the international market. Not only market, if we have some overseas suppliers, vendors who are supplying material to us, and maybe better quality material we are getting, maybe cheaper material we are getting, maybe on time we are getting the material, right? So, or we are struggling with the local players for getting all those things, right? So then we can immediately find those overseas players, and these logistics service providers will help us to get the raw material on time. So technological integration. So because these are experts, they have warehouse management systems, software solutions, they have GPS software solution, RFID technology for packaging, cloud-based platforms. Now these are the technologies which will help to increase the transparency in the supply chain, right? So logistics distribution, wherever your product is, what is the information, whether that product is finally consumed or still in the maybe on the shelf of that shop, right? So that inventory also you can track at that time. Packaging, once it is destroyed, you can find out, okay, finally it is consumed, right? So this way you can manage the inventory as well. Risk management, because you are getting those services from these suppliers, logistics services providers, so this is their headache to carry the freight from one location to other location. If anything goes wrong, they are providing you the insurance services as well, right? And if anything is wrong, maybe in the route, they will automatically divert their pilots or whosoever is distributing their vehicle in that way, so that your product reaches at the right point, right location, right? Now let's say even because of the, let's say, natural disaster or weather conditions, so you are somewhere stuck on the road, right? So even because you are stuck somewhere in the road, that is not your headache, because you have outsourced your warehousing as well. So now those warehouses, storage center, distribution center, they need to maintain the inventory. If there is any fluctuation in the demand, your material is getting delayed, those many disruption also can be absorbed by using the services of these logistics services providers. Cost efficiency, when we talk about logistics services provider or outsourcing, the first very basic element is why we are going for outsourcing is to reduce the cost. And already I discussed with you, if I'll go for investing into 5 or 10 bikes to deliver my food packets, so that much money is required. I don't want to do that. Let's give some share of my profit to the third party, and I can maximize my share as well, because earlier I was serving only 100 customers, now I am getting the reach to maybe 500 customers. So in that way I will also maximize my market share. Continuous improvement, because these players are already in the market, they have developed the KPIs, how they can be more efficient, right? So they are already tracking all these points. So getting services from these specialized players, we need not to bother about the performance matrix. They will take care of all those things. So let's go with this video link, which will help you to understand this is the advertisement by Logistico company. So here I have included some video links. You guys can just quickly go through these videos, and then we'll continue our discussion on the topic. So let's explore what are the various reasons for outsourcing logistics, right? The first one is to avoid the fixed capital expenditure. Like I told you, if you want to set up your distribution network, so those many resources are required. In case of restaurant, maybe you need bikes, maybe you need 10 more manpower, and maybe you need IT platform where you can record your orders, you can process your orders, maybe then you need a bigger raw material storage house, right? These many things you need. So because I'm very small restaurant, still I'm thinking of expanding my business. How the industry will take it, how the market will take, customers will take it, that is another point, right? There is risk. If I'll go for investing all this, and then I want that there should be my own exclusive showroom, own exclusive supply chain, distribution network, right? Then if something goes wrong in your expansion strategy, then what you will do with those assets, right, which you have acquired. So that is one thing. Second is you can cut the cost. How you can cut the cost? Because when you are expanding your business, you are not sure about the demand. When you are not sure about the demand, the big question that comes is whether the economies of scale can be utilized or not. That much, if you are hiring 10 manpower, 10 bikes, whether all the time you are utilizing those resources. If you are utilizing only for 3 hours in a day, so what you will do with rest of 21 hours, right? So that is the extra cost. So that you need to take care. Increase flexibility. Flexibility in terms of, maybe we talked about restaurant in IIT where 18 to 20,000 people are living, including students, staff, faculty, right? So maybe more than that. So let's say now next 2 months there is break. So this population, this size will definitely, customer size will reduce to somewhere around 2 to 3,000, right? So in that way, 2 to 3,000, so how you will, your supply chain will be, your distribution network will be flexible. Then those resources, what you will do with those resources at that time for 2 months or more than 2 months, summer break, right? So that is another very big challenge for the small players. So the best thing is you outsource this to someone who is going to deliver on your behalf. Today, if you are delivering 100 orders, they will charge you for 100 orders. Tomorrow, if you are delivering 1000 orders, they will charge you for 1000 orders, right? So focus on core business. Now, because my core business is I am very good with the cooking. So why the hell I am going for transportation if I am very good with this cooking only and I don't have knowledge of transportation? Okay, even I am not aware about there is some kind of system who can track my packaging. If you can apply the barcoding and all that, then it will help you to ensure the quality of the product. You can analyze the inventory. These many things I cannot understand, right? So better I can focus only on cooking. Someone else will do that for us, right? And we are happy with that much, maybe with the core business only. Improve services, because these are the specialist players. Obviously their services level no one can match. At least we cannot match who are not from that industry. Lack of scale, I already discussed what will happen if you are suddenly reducing from 18 to 20,000 people on board to maybe 2 to 3,000 students only, right? Or maybe people. Then acquired talent, when you are going for outsourcing the specialist, obviously you have the expertise, right? So you have the right talent. And labor related problems, if you will deal with the transportation industry, is a kind of industry where every day strikes are happening, every day union issues and all those things are there. So I don't want to get into that. So how I can do that? Just to avoid that, and maybe I can outsource that. So this is the small survey done by Inbound.Logistics company, and they say that what we are outsourcing actually, we are outsourcing most of those functions which are not our core competency, or which is not our USP, right? Which are very routine activities. This transportation of the material, storing the material is not going to add direct value for the customer unless we are not talking about the doorstep delivery. Obviously doorstep delivery is adding value to customer. They are leveraging that. But other things, whether you are storing 10 units or you are storing 100 units, as a customer, why should I bother, right? I want my product. If you will not give me my product, I will take it from someone else. Very simple, right? So it is your problem. So that means we are not outsourcing the strategic and customer facing. We cannot give this function at least to the third vendor on our behalf, because we want to deal and we want to control the customer directly. So if we'll talk about the share of these outsourcing partners, so domestic transportation 83%, warehousing 66%, internal transportation 63%, so customer brokerage 46%. So these all are the list of various logistics functions which you can outsource. Even if you are talking about, I don't want to care about my inventory, only thing I'll care is as long as I am into that business, my inventory should be there. So it is inventory management. 70% people, they are thinking, entrepreneurs, they are thinking, industries are thinking that let us not bother about the inventory, someone else will do that. Whenever we need material on our production line, they should be responsible for providing that, right? Or sometimes maybe customer support services. I cannot handle the calls, I cannot handle the platform if anything goes wrong, I cannot handle if the customer is cancelling the order and payment is already done. Who will do that? Because I am only good in cooking, right? So I don't know all those things, right? So let us hand over this particular function to other parties who are expert in that and can do in a better way. So this is very simple example to understand the industry. This logistics services provider, first party logistics provider, only two parties are there. One is producer, another one is who is getting that product, right? So if a farmer is delivering eggs to grocery store, this is first party logistics. No one is involved in that. Second party logistics is kind of a courier services people, right? Or any agency who is delivering your packet on your behalf. So now farmer is producing eggs here and one courier partner is there who is delivering these eggs to the grocery store or wherever you are locating it. Third party logistics services, this is a kind of fulfillment company who is having their own fleets, and then they are collecting eggs from the farmer, they are storing those in their distribution centers, and then in the end, as per the requirement, sending those to the fulfillment grocery store. Fourth party logistics is the next version, where they are providing the lead logistics kind of services. Everything is included in that, right? So they are handling your third party vendors also. Now third party vendors, you just remember the first example we talked about, where I talked about the complete distribution network, where transportation was one function, warehousing was another function, packaging may be another function, distribution may be another function, right? So now fourth party logistics, if I am outsourcing all those things to different vendors, they will take care of all those vendors, right? So they will consider all the vendors, they will, whatever is required, means this is a kind of company which is connecting all those vendors with me, okay? So this is fourth party logistics. Fifth party logistics is who is going to handle my complete supply chain. They will produce, they will find the raw material. I am good at maybe with coming up the new product, new design, like what Philips is doing right now. Philips, if you see, they are not having any manufacturing. Most of the home appliances Philips is manufacturing, they are having co-manufacturers, right? So co-manufacturer means they are providing different designs to those co-manufacturers. They are providing what are the specifications for the components required for making that. Let's say they are, the very common is maybe iron you are using at home, maybe juicer, mixer, grinder you are using at home. So what this Philips player is doing, he is deploying all the co-manufacturer to produce at different locations, right? Now those co-manufacturers are taking care of all the raw material suppliers, right? They are taking care of the distribution network. In the end, Philips, what they are doing, they are paying for the product, even packaging, labeling, everything they are doing, right? So in the end, the final product, juicer, mixer, grinder, is coming to my warehouse, from where I will create the demand and then I will finally distribute, right? So this is how it is happening as fifth party logistics. Quickly we'll go through first party logistics. I told you only two organizations are there, only two parties are involved, and you can see first party logistics provider transports item from stock to shelves. So here only producer is there, and then finally we are delivering to the storeroom. So in this type of relationship, the suppliers manages their own inventory, storage and delivery. So when supplier is managing everything, we have certain obviously challenges, right? So you have your own distribution network, your own transportation network, and warehousing, everything you will take care, right? So as a restaurant owner, now I want to leverage all those things, right? If the very simple concept here is, who are following first party logistics is, because if I'll outsource to Swiggy or Zomato, so obviously those people are also making a margin out of that. So why not I should make margin out of that, right? So that is very simple concept, but making margin out of that is, I already discussed so many different challenges. So let's talk about the components of first party logistics. First is ownership and control. Obviously, when you have complete integration, you have full control, right? Directly from your production unit, it is going to the store. So that means quality you can control, ownership also you can control. But once you are outsourcing it to some other manufacturing unit, so then they are controlling quality. Obviously you have some checks to ensure the quality, but still you cannot control 100%. So in-house operation, if you are first party logistics, then all in-house operations you are doing, you have your own fleets, warehouses, so that much fixed investment you make to right? So vertical integration, already I talked about. When you start acquiring your suppliers, you will be suppliers of your own product, right? So I want to acquire all the suppliers, I want to expand my supply chain distribution so that I should have full control. I don't want distribution network, wholesaler, distributors, retailers, I don't want. I want type of maybe Dell supply chain where they are directly interacting with the customer, recording their whatever configuration they want, and then processing, and then finally delivering the laptop or whatever product you want to purchase. So benefit of first party logistics already discussed: greater control over quality, security and customer services, because directly you are interacting with them. because that is your baby, your business is your baby. So in that way you want to take care of your baby yourself, you don't want to outsource it. Challenges already I told, first is limited resources in terms of that much transportation facility, warehousing facilities are required, right? And then transportation fleets, warehouses, technology system is another thing, because if somehow you can manage the distribution network, somehow you can store the products, right? But technology is something is maybe you are not very much relevant with that, so you need someone IT manager or engineer who can, you know, manage that platform for you. Risk management, because you only are integrating all the functions in your organization, you are responsible whether delays are happening on the roads, whether it is happening because of shortage of inventory or any disaster is happening in the supply chain. So in that way you only responsible for that. Quickly we'll go through the second party logistics. Now we have in between one player who is collecting the material and shipping that material to the market, right? So this is asset based carrier who is having the transportation mode, if it is a transportation second party logistics, right? So they will be collecting and then they will be distributing. So quickly we'll go through the components. So service scope, in specific, they are operating in specific areas like maybe transportation. If you are talking about transportation second party logistics, they will provide you all the solution related to transportation. If you are asking for warehouse second party logistics, they will take care of your warehousing operations. If you talk about order fulfillment, they will record your customer's order, they will process your customer's order, they will deliver the product to your customer. So order fulfillment cycle they will take care. If they are working as freight forward company, right, so they will take care of that component only. So that means they are providing the customized solution as per your requirement. Today if you are requiring only, let's say, transportation services, you can outsource that. Tomorrow you want to extend maybe second party logistics into your warehousing as well, because you are also increasing your customer potential market, you are expanding, so that way you want to expand. So then you can utilize these second party logistic player into different segments. So when you have the second party logistics, you have better integration, right? You can share quickly your information, okay, and you can align your processes, which will lead to efficiency and effectiveness. Now scalability and flexibility, like I told you the example, if for next 2 months only 2,000 to 3,000 people will be there in the campus, right? So during that time, what you will do with your distribution network? So because now I am delivering maybe 1,000 orders, so I told you they will charge for 1,000. So you can scale up or you can scale down. So they will provide you the flexible solution. They will not say that minimum these many orders if you will process, only then, otherwise we will charge high. So already that is very clear. Technological integration, they are if you are taking transportation management system, they will help you to, you know, get the best routes optimization will be there, proper vehicle capacity will be used, if utilized. If you are talking about warehouse management system, so they will take care of your inventory, they can help you with the tracking and visibility tools, which will help you, you know, to track your inventory on the way. Third party logistics, this is now complete services. They are providing, other than transportation services, they are providing the brokerage, customer brokerage services and warehousing, distribution, value adding activities like packaging, labeling, kitting, all those services they are providing. You can just see, so maximum share is transportation management 22%, and then they are providing your warehousing activities, which is adding almost 21%, then value adding activities 19%, right? So these three functions are carrying the maximum weightage. Then intermodal services they are providing, they are running their own fleets, right? And then lead logistics is complete kind of solution. And intermodal, they will define if your transportation requires maybe road transportation, then ship transportation, then air also. So they will do all these things for you. So you can see third party logistics, which will take care of your packaging, warehousing and transportation. So manufacturer is left out and market is left out, which will cover in fourth party logistics. So 90% of Fortune 500 companies are using third party logistics service. So now you just imagine how big this third party logistic industry is, right? So Hitachi is very known player in that, and they are providing a very different basket of services. If you want procurement logistics services related to procurement, storing the raw material, shifting the raw material, they will provide you those kind of services. If you want production logistics services within your production manufacturing also, if you want someone else should handle your all the material handling, shifting from maybe production floor to the dispatch area to outgoing quality control area, the Hitachi will provide you those services as well. If you are looking for reverse logistics services, they will provide you the reverse logistics. Sales related, they will forecast the sales, they will maintain the inventory for you in the market, and then they will handle the logistics part as well. Collaborative logistics is another very good example how Hitachi is doing in the same industry. If you have maybe limited order, so you are not able to utilize the full capacity of the container which is taking your product, right? So Hitachi is collaborating maybe with 2 or 3 different vendors, and then they are consolidating the product. So comprehensive services you are getting under third party logistics, including everything whatever we talked about. Because we are outsourcing to expert, again we can leverage their expertise, their resources, their infrastructure, and if you want to expand the market without giving a second thought, you can expand it. So scalability and flexibility will be there. If today demand is for 10,000 products, you supply using the same network 10,000 products. Tomorrow if only you are selling 5,000, no issues, they will take care of that as well. 500, no issues, they will take care of that as well, right? So that scalability and flexibility is very, very important. Because if you are thinking of investing that much infrastructure and something goes wrong, right, then what you will do with that infrastructure? You may not be able to utilize that infrastructure, right, later on. So because these players are doing these kind of services for so many different organizations, not only same industry, different industry. So maybe one facility if designed for maybe automobile industry is not utilized properly, they can utilize it for some FMCG industry, right? So that way we can, they are hardly bothering about whether the particular plan will get the success or not, right? Global reach, already we discussed about, they have global network, transportation partner, distribution channel throughout the world. You just think of expanding your business overseas, they are ready with the buffet of services they have. And technology integration, again, because they are taking care of your full supply chain, so they will handle your transportation related services and warehouse management services. These data analytics will help you to, because they are directly interacting with the market as well, they will help you to analyze the trends in the market, will help you to define your demand very in a very you can say refined way, so that you can take care of your full distribution network. Cost saving, obviously we discussed it. The very first reason why we are going for outsourcing is cost saving, because we don't want to invest into fixed assets, setting up that complete chain, so we are going for outsourcing. Risk management, now everything third party is handling, warehousing, inventory, anything goes wrong with the inventory, that is their problem. Anything goes wrong with the distribution network, with the transportation network, or maybe during air transportation, any damage is happening to the product, that is their responsibility, right? Once it is dispatched from our manufacturing unit, for us the business is over, right? So next they will take care of this. Now the fourth party logistics is a complete solution from one end to the customer end, and then they are taking care of the third party logistics. If you have 2-3 third party logistics, maybe for warehousing separate, transportation separate, or others maybe handling the international transportation shipments, so they will take care of all those things. Now the best advantage, the best point under fourth party logistics is, as a service provider or product provider, you are getting single stop solution, single invoice, so you can streamline everything. Now when only one player is involved, from suppliers of suppliers to end customer, so that means quick information sharing will be, you will be more efficient, you are getting the correct information without any inflation in the information, or without any if you can say deviation in the exact information. So that getting accurate information on time, because only single player is involved. And like you can see, so these fourth party logistics, they are doing the logistics company, packaging, warehousing, transportation. Okay, so they are taking care of your third party logistics, because you can consolidate everything and analyze. So then it will help you to configure your demand function as well, that in that efficient way. So you can use their ERP systems, IoT devices, just to get that real information data, so that you can apply your analysis tools and get the benefit out of the, because you can make information based decisions, right? So in that way you will be more accurate. So these fourth party logistics are providing you the customized solution as per your requirement, right? If Philips is outsourcing even manufacturing, because they are maybe not good with the manufacturing, they don't want to invest into manufacturing kind of thing, so they are outsourcing that. But on the other hand, Havel is their USP is how efficiently and with quality they are making their MCBs, RCCBs, so they all the electrical solutions. So they have their own manufacturing facilities, but they are not very good with the distribution network, so they want another package, right? So Philips is not good with, maybe they don't want to go into that, they want to control the quality and branding of the product and just the innovation in that product, whatever they are doing. So rest thing will be taken care by your fourth party logistics, right? So again, the technological integration will be at the highest level, because fourth party logistics, actually they are not carrying any assets, they are integrating everything, all the players in one chain, right? So they are one stop solution where they are providing you the they are solving all your problems related to distribution. So risk management will be in better way, right? Because now it is the responsibility of your fourth party logistics. In that way your distribution network will be more resilient and will ensure the continuity. You will not be stock out in the market, you will not be having enough overstock in the market, right? So that you can avoid. So again, fourth party logistics, continuous improvement you can ensure, because these players, they are having fixed their KPIs and they have developed that matrix and continuously working on how they can drive more efficiency, reduce cost and enhance the customer satisfaction, right? So that the exact feedback you can get from the customer through these fourth party logistics players. Global reach, obviously again the same point, we will have to the access to the foreign markets as well, and then this fourth party logistics player will help you to get the market insights, and those insights will be obviously helpful in planning the future, whether you are going for expansion strategies or you are going to maybe diversify into some other industry. So that only you can do if you are having that much promise in that market potential you are looking for. So this is the fifth party logistics, the last level, where all the players are integrated and all third party logistics service providers are also there, and this fifth party logistics is aggregating all the requirements from the customer, and then whatever, it is not now your responsibility to outsource even. They will take care. You will outsource to fifth party logistics, and then they will see, okay, distribution network will be handled by this player, logistics services maybe Hitachi will do, maybe warehousing will contact with the maybe your delivery, or maybe will final customer delivery will be done by delivery or DHL or whatever you want to pick, right? So this is fifth party logistics, where manufacturer also part of fifth party logistics, market is also part of fifth party logistics. Like the example Philips I quoted. So most of the appliances they are manufacturing, even manufacturers are co-manufacturers are there who are manufacturing on their behalf, and then final market is also handled. So what is your function now as the owner of that brand? You are just branding your product. You are just coming with new ideas. You have new ideas, just you will say this product I want, and that will be done through all these players. Fifth party will take care of everything. So just you can just conclude here, first party logistics direct delivery, and then transportation companies will be there in the second party, third party logistics service provider will be there, fourth party complete supply chain solution plus logistics services, and fifth party full services expert logistics services provider, right. Sixth party is the next generation logistics player who will be utilizing AI, machine learning and all that, where earlier you were designing your product and handing over those products to the co-manufacturer to manufacture and distribute in the market. Now next level is where I'll just say I just want to go into that industry. So my artificial intelligence, machine learning will prepare the best possible 3D design, and we'll just look for that design, what changes we want, and then they will finalize the changes and we'll develop the physical prototype, we'll check it, we'll test it, and if it is okay, any recommendations are coming from the market, feedback are coming from the market, automatically it will be taken care through IoT system where we can record all the information. So very quickly we'll go through this case study of Elixia, which is having its services for Indian players as well, and you can see they are providing end-to-end logistics solutions including transportation, distribution, warehouse, in-factory logistics and value-adding services. More than 300 clients they are having. The worth of the company is 35 billion INR and they are operating in 60 million square feet area warehouses, more than 10,000 vehicles they have deployed, and they are serving to more than 17k pin codes. So operational locations you can see more than 500 plus. But the problem they were facing, they identified, you can go through the full case, but just I have picked related to this session only. They identified that improper vehicle allocation means they were not utilizing the full capacity of the vehicle. If a truck can carry 10 ton, somewhere they were carrying 7 tons, sometimes 5 tons, 8 tons, so full capacity was not utilized. And also the route planning was not done properly. They were not using the latest technology, GPS technology or RFID technologies, right, to plan their routing and all that thing. So they were in that they were lacking. So what they clearly defined that, and then they defined what actual cost should be, how they can ensure the optimal utilization of that capacity of that your containers, and then routes, and then mode of transportation. So we should be in a very objective way, we should decide, right, all those things. So there should be some system software solution who is doing that on our behalf, and we automatically we can take care of all those things. So you can just see the result. They saved 6.7 lakhs in 1 month, and they optimized load, space and route, which will definitely add to their efficiency. So quickly results you can see, cost saving 8.4% after this, and 650 ton carbon footprint they reduced, and increase in vehicle space utilization is 25%, which is very large space they were not utilizing. So here we can conclude that, so any expansion strategies you need, right, so you need not to think about the distribution network. So in that way you can just say that I'm just thinking that now my restaurant should operate within 50 kilometers, how I can, there are so many players, right, how I can collaborate with those players. So even if I'm having very maybe only one hotel, so that hotel is not visible to everyone, the tourists who are coming there, I can just collaborate with Make My Trip, with GoAvivo, with so many other platforms are there, right. So simple way, these third party logistics vendor, they are providing us the tailored solutions as per your requirement, as per requirement of the product. They are also helping you with the information how you should modify your product and how you should deliver that product to the end customer, so that customer in the end should feel satisfied, delighted, right. So that's all from my side in this session. So these are the references and textbooks you can refer. Thank you very much.